So 1,000 thank yous to our stage manager, Logan, our assistant director, Madeline, our assistant stage managers, Sylvan and Sunny. Love you guys. As you may notice, this production is staged with the audience on three sides of the actors. Don't be alarmed if the actors are a little bit closer to you than you're used to in a typical theater production. If you are seated in any of the aisles, we ask for the safety of our actors entering and exiting that you just keep sort of all your belongings under the chair and try to just be aware of where you are. A list of content items can be found in the program, but I would like to highlight that the show contains themes of gore and violence, including stage combat, the use of fake blood, props suggesting the presence of a severed head, and depictions of imprisonment. This show also contains a few sudden loud noises, including yelling, screaming, and alarms, which sound similar to sirens. At this time, we would ask that you please silence your cell phones and put them away. And of course, long live the king. Enjoy the show.
My father is deceased. Come, Galveston, and share the kingdom of thy dearest friend. Words that may be surveyed with the king. What greater bliss can hath the Galveston than live? May the sight of London to my exiled axis as Elysium to the newcomer's soul. Not that I love the city or the men, but that harbors him I hold so dear. The king, upon whose bosom let me die, and with the world be still ahead of me. What need the arctic people of starlight if the sun shines both by day and night? Farewell, base stooping to the lordly ears, my knee shall bow to none but the king. And as for the multitude that are but sparks raked up in the embers of their poverty, not thee, upon first on the wind that glances at my lips and flies away. My lord, here comes the king. And the nobles of the parliament all stand aside.
Lancaster, my lord, will you not grant me this?
My lord, if you love us, hate Galveston.
That villain Mortimer, all is death.
These earls and I myself were sworn to your father at his death that he should ne'er return into the realm. And know, my lord, ere I will break my oath, this sword of mine that should offend thy foes will sleep within the scabbard at thy knee, and underneath thy banners march who will, for Mortimer will hang his armor up.
Well, Mortimer, I'll make thee rue these words. Beseems it thee to contradict thy king? Frownest thou thereat, aspiring Lancaster? The sword shall flame the furrows of thy brows, and do these deeds that now are grown so stiff. I will have Galveston, and you shall know what danger 'tis to stand against your king.
Well done, Eddie.
My lord, why do you thus incense your peers that naturally would love and honor you, but for that base and obscure Galveston? 4 earldoms have I, besides Lancaster. These will I sell to give my soldiers pay, ere Galveston shall remain within the realm. Therefore, if he come, expel him straight.
Barons and earls. Your pride hath kept me silent, but now I'll speak, and to the proof I hope. I do remember in my father's days Lord Percy of the North, being highly moved, braved Muller in the presence of the king, for which, had not his highness loved him dearly, he should have lost his head. But with his look, the undaunted spirit of Percy was appeased, and he and Mawr were reconciled. Yet dare you brave the king unto his face? Run, revenge it. Let these their heads preach upon poles who trespass in their tongues.
Oh, our hands.
And therefore I would wish you grant.
Cannot, or we will not. We must speak. Cousin, these hands, I hope, shall fence our heads and strike off his that makes you threaten us. Come, friends, let us leave the brain-sick king.
And Lord Galveston hath many friends. Do, my lord, and either change your mind, or look to sit your own, where you should sit, to float in blood, and if I wanted head, the closing head of thy base Indian throne.
I cannot brook these haughty menaces. Am I a king and must be overruled? Brother, display my ensigns in the field. I'll band you with the barons and the earls, and either die or live with Galveston.
I can no longer keep me from my lord.
What? Galveston, welcome! Kiss not my hand. Embrace me, Galveston, as I do thee. Why shouldst thou kneel? Knowest thou not who I am? Thy friend, thyself, another Galveston? Not Pyrrhus, whose more mourned to Hercules than thou hast been of me since thy exile.
And since I went from hence, no soul in hell hath felt more torment than poor Galveston.
I know it. Welcome home. Now let the treacherous Mortimer conspire, that high-minded Earl of Lancaster. I have my wish. in that I joy thy sight. And sooner shall the sea o'erwhelm my land than bear the ship that shall transport thee hence. I here create thee Lord High Chamberlain, Chief Secretary to the State, and me, Earl of Cornwall, King and Lord of Man.
These titles far exceed my worth.
Brother, the least of these may well suffice for one greater Galveston. Cease, brother, for I cannot brook these words. Thy worth, sweet friend, is far above my gifts. Therefore, to equal it, receive my heart. If for these dignities thou be envied, I'll give thee more, for but to honor thee is Edward pleased with kingly regiment. Fearest thou thy person, thou shalt have a guard. Wantest thou gold, go to my treasury. For thou be loved and feared. Receive my seal, save or condemn at an hour name. Command whatso thy mind affects or fancy lights.
It shall suffice me to enjoy your life. Which wells I have, I think myself as great as Caesar, riding in the Roman streets, the path of kings at his triumphant car.
Whither goes my Lord Coventry so fast to celebrate your father's exploits?
And is that wicked Galveston returned?
Aye, priest, and lives to be revenged on thee that were the only cause of his exile.
'Tis true, but for reverence of these roads, thou shouldst not fall 1 foot beyond this place.
I did no more than what I found you. And, Galveston, unless thou be reclaimed, as then I did incense the Parliament, so will I now, and thou shalt back to France.
Saving your reverence, you have pardoned me.
Draw his golden mitre and his stolen shall prison anew.
Nay, brother, lay not violent hands on him. He'll complain unto the seat of Rome.
Let him complain unto the seat of hell. All be revenge on him for my exile.
No, spare his life, but seize upon his goods. Be thou Lord Bishop, and receive his rents, and make him serve thee as thy chaplain. Here, I give him thee. Do what thou wilt.
He shall be prison, and there die in bolts.
Aye, to the tower, the fleet, or where thou wilt. For this act thou be a curse of God. Brother, convey this priest unto the tower, and in the meantime, Galveston, away. Take possession of his house and goods. Come, follow me, and thou shalt have a guard to see it done and bring thee safe again.
What should a priest do with so fine a house? A prison had never received his holiness.
'Tis true, the bishop's in the tower, and goods and body given to Galveston. This ground, which is corrupted with their steps, shall be their time to settle here, or mine.
Well, let that peevish Frenchman guard him short. Unless his breast be sword-proof, he shall die.
How now, why drink beer with Lancaster?
Wherefore is Guy of Warwick discontent?
That Lord Galveston is made an earl.
An earl?
Aye, and besides Lord Chamberlain of the realm, and Secretary to and Lord of Man.
We may not, nor we will not suffer this. Why post we not from hence to levy men?
My Lord of Cornwall, now in every word. Happy is the man who he vouchsafes for failing to sonnet one good look. Thus, arm in arm, king and he doth march. Nay, more, the guard wait upon his lordship, while the court begins to flatter. Thus, leaning on the shoulder of the king, he nods and scorns and smiles at those that pass.
Doth no man take exception?
All stomach, but none dare speak a word.
Ah, that bewrays their baseness, Lancaster. Where all the earls and barons of my mind will hail him from the bosom of the king, and at the court gate hang the peasant up, who, swollen with venom of ambitious pride, will be the ruin of the realm and us.
Here comes my Lord of Canterbury's grace. His countenance were I as pleased.
First were his sacred garments rent and torn, then laid they violent hands upon him. Next, himself imprisoned and his good to seize. This certified the hope that
My Lord, you do take up arms against me.
will you be with us, that be his peers, to banish or behead that Galveston?
What else, my lords? For it concerns me near. The bishopric of Coventry is his.
Madam, whither walks your majesty so fast?
Unto the forest, gentle Mortimer, to live in grief and baleful discontent. For now the Lord, my king, regards me not, but dotes upon the love of Galveston. He claps his cheeks and hangs about his neck, smiles in his face and whispers in his ears, and when I come, he turns away, as if to say, go whither thou wilt, seeing I have Galveston. Is it not strange that he is thus approached?
Madam, return unto the court again, that sly and veiling Frenchmen will exile or lose our lives. And yet, ere that day comes, the king shall lose his crown, for we have power and courage too to be revenged at full.
But yet lift not your swords against the king.
No, we will but lift Galveston from hence, and Mawr must be the means, or he'll stay still.
Oh, then let him stay, or rather then my lord shall be oppressed with civil mutinies. No, I would rather live a melancholy life, and let him frolic with his minion. My lords, to ease all this, but hear me speak. We and the rest that are as counselors will meet, and with a general consent confirm this banishment with our hands and our seals.
But we confirm the king will frustrate.
Then may we lawfully revolt from him.
Come then, let's away.
Farewell.
Sweet Mortimer, and for my sake, forbear to lend the arms against the king.
Aye, if words will serve. If not, I must.
The mighty Prince of Lancaster, that for earldoms and an asking there, with Mortimer and Pembroke, two goodly men, and Guy and Warwick that redoubted knight. Nay, these are not men for me. I must have wanton poets with pleasant wits, musicians that with plucking of a string may draw the quiet king which way I. Music and poetry are business. Therefore, I'll have Italian masks by night, sweet speeches, comedies, and pleasing shows. And in the day, when he shall walk around like sylvan nymphs, my pages shall be glad. My men, like satyrs grazing on the lawn, shall with their goat dance the attic head. And sometime, a lovely man is not in his view, with hair that gilds the water as it glides, crowns of pearl around his naked arms, and in his sportful hands an olive tree, to hide those parts which men delight to see, shall bathe them in the spring, and there hard by, one like a tail peeping through the grove, shall by the angry goddess be transformed, and running in the likeness of a heart, pull down my yelping hounds, and seem to die. Such things as these best leaves his fancy.
Here is the form of Galveston's exile. May it please your lordship to subscribe your name.
You need a paper?
Quickly, quickly, my lord. I long to write my name, and I long more to see him banished hence.
The name of Mortimer will surely frighten the king, unless he be declined from that base peasant.
What? Are you moved that Galveston sits here? It is our pleasure. We will have it so.
Man of noble birth can brook this sight. The grace doth well to keep him so close, for nowhere else is the new earl so safe.
Is this the duty that you owe your king?
We know our duties. Let him know his fears.
Whither will you bear him? Stay, or you shall die. There are
earth.
Were he a peasant, being my lover, I'll make the proudest of you stoop to him.
My lord, you may not thus disparage us. Away, I say, with hateful Galveston.
Nay! Then lay violent hands upon your king. Here, Mortimer, sit thou in Edward's throne. Pembroke and Lancaster, where are you, my crown? Was ever king thus overruled as I?
Learn men to rule us better, and the realm.
What we have done, our heart blood shall maintain.
Think you that we can brook the upstart's pride?
Anger and wrathful fury stops my speech.
Why are you moved, my lord? Be patient, and hear what we your counselors have done.
My lords, now let us all be resolute, and either have our wills or lose our lives.
You know that I pledge to Logan. On your allegiance to the See of Rome, subscribe, as we have done, to his exile.
Curse him if he refuse, and then may we depose him and elect another king.
Remember how the bishop was abused. Either banish him that was the cause thereof, or I will presently discharge these lords of duty and allegiance to thee.
Meet you for this, proud, over-daring peers, ere my sweet Galveston shall part from me. But it boots me not to threaten. I must speak true, the legate of the Pope will be obeyed. My lord, you shall be chancellor of the realm, and thou, Lancaster, high admiral of our fleet. Young Mortimer and his kin shall be earls, and you, Lady Pembroke, president of the North, and thou of Wales. If this content you not, make several kingdoms of this monarchy and share it equally amongst you all, that I may have some nook or corner left to stay with my dearest Galveston.
Nothing shall alter us. Are you content to banish him from the realm?
I see I must, and therefore am content. Instead of ink, I'll write it with my tears. 'Tis done. And now accursed hand fall off.
Now is my heart at ease.
And so is mine. Give it me, I'll publish it in the street.
I'll see him presently dispatched away. Why should you love him, whom the world hates so?
Because he loves me more than all the world. How fast they run to banish Galveston. They would not stir were it to do me good. Why should a king be subject to a priest? Proud Rome, that hatches such imperial grooms. With these thy superstitious taper lights, wherewith thy anti-Christian churches blaze, I'll fire thy craven buildings, and enforce the papal towers to kiss the lowly ground. With slaughtered priests may Tiber's channel swell, and banks raised higher with their sepulchres. As for the peers that back the clergy thus, if I be king, not one of them shall live.
My lord, I hear it whispered everywhere that I am banished. Let's fly the lands.
It's true, sweet Galveston. Oh, were it false. The legate of the Pope will have it so, and thou must hence, or I shall be deposed. But I will live to be revenged of them, and therefore, my love, take it patiently. Live where thou wilt, I'll send thee gold enough, and long thou shalt not stay, or if thou dost, I'll come to thee. My love shall ne'er decline.
Is
Oh, stay, Galveston, I cannot leave thee thus.
For every look my lord drops out of here, seeing I must so do not renew my sorrow.
The time is little that thou hast to stay, and therefore give me leave to look my fill. But come, sweet friend, I'll bear thee on thy way.
Here's will crack.
I pass not for their anger. Come, let's go. Oh, that we might as well return as go.
Whither goes my lord?
Fawn not on me, get thee gone from my sight.
On whom but on my husband should I fawn?
On Mortimer, with whom I'm gentle queen.
I say no more. Beg you the rest, my lord. In saying this thou wrongest me, Galveston. Is it not enough that thou corruptst my lord and art bond to his affections? But no, thou hast called mine honor into question.
I mean not so. Your grace must pardon me.
Thou art too familiar with that Mortimer, and by thy means is Galveston exiled. Therefore I would wish thee reconciled, Lord, though thou shalt ne'er be reconciled to me.
Your highness knows it lies not in my hand.
Away then, touch me not. Come, Galveston.
Villain! 'Tis thou that robst me of my lord.
Madam, 'tis you that robbed me of my lord.
Speak not unto her. Let her droop and pine. Herein, my lord, I deserve these words. Witness this heart that sighing for thee. Witness how dear my lord is to Isabel. Witness, heaven, how dear thou art to me. There weep. For till my Galveston be repealed, assure thyself thou comest not in my sight.
A miserable and discarded queen. Would when I left sweet home and was embarked that charming Circes, walking on the waves, had changed my shape o'er, that at the wedding day the cup of Hymen had been full of poison, or that these arms that twined about my neck had stifled me, so I had not lived to see the king my lord thus to abandon me. Like frantic Juno will I fill the earth with my shrieks and sighs, for never doted Jove on Ganymede so much as he on cursed Galveston. With that, the more exasperate his wrath. I must entreat him. I must speak him fair, and be a means to call home Galveston. And yet, he'll ever dote on Galveston. So am I forever disarmed.
Madeline, how fares your grace?
How grace the king is hateful. He, I fear, hath ill entreated me, and he confesseth that he loves me not.
For acquaintance, madam, then, and love not him.
No. Rather will I die 1,000 deaths, and yet I love him in vain. He'll never love me.
Fear ye not, madam. Now his minions gone, 'tis not in humor when we quickly left.
Never, Lancaster. Rather, I am enjoined to sue unto you all for his repeal. This wills my lord, and this must I perform, or be banished from his highness's presence.
For his repeal, madam. He comes not back unless the sea cast up his shipwrecked body, and to behold so sweet a sight as that, does not care but to run his horse to death.
But, madam, would you have us call him home?
Yes, murder. For until he be repealed, the angry king hath banished me the court. Be therefore, as thou lovest and tenderest me, be thou my advocate unto these years.
What, would you have me plead for Galveston?
Wait for him he who will, I am resolved. And so am I, my lord. Dissuade the queen.
Dissuade the king, Lancaster, for 'tis against my will that he be repealed.
And speak not for him, let the peasant
I mean the vile torpedo, Galveston, that now, I hope, floats on the open seas.
Mortimer, sit down by me a while. I will tell thee reasons of such weight that thou wilt soon subscribe to his appeal.
It is impossible. But speak your mind.
And thus, but none shall hear it but ourselves.
My lords, albeit the Queen win Mortimer, will you stand resolute and hold with me?
Fear not. Queen's words cannot alter her.
Oh? You can mark how earnestly she pleads.
And see how boldly his looks make denial.
She smiles. Now for my life, his mind is changed. I'll rather lose his friendship than grant this.
Well, necessity, it must be so. My lords, that I abhor base Galveston, I hope your honors make no question. And therefore, though I plead for his repeal, 'tis not for his sake, but for our avail, nay, for the realm's behoof and for the king's.
Fine, Mortimer! Dishonor not thyself. What? Can this be true? 'Twas good to banish him. And is this true to call him back again? Such reason makes white black and dark night day.
My lord of Lancaster, mark the respect.
In no respect can contraries be true.
Yet, good my lords, hear what she can allege.
That she speaks is nothing. We are resolved.
Do not you wish that Galveston were dead? I would he were.
Why then, my lord, give her but leave to speak this, which I urge is of a burning zeal, to mend the king and do our country good.
Know you not that Galveston hath store of gold abroad, that abroad could build him such friends as he would front the mightiest of us, and while he shall live, and be beloved, 'tis hard for us to work his repeal.
Argue but that, my lord of Lancaster.
But were he here, detested as he is, how easily might some base man be suborned to greet his lordship with a poniard, and none but blame the murderer, but rather praise him for that brave attempt, and enroll his name in the chronicle for the purging of the realm of such a plague.
She saith true.
Aye. But how chance this was not done before?
Because when he knows it lies in us to banish him and call him home again, 'twill make him veil the top flag of his pride and fear to offend the meanest noble man.
But how if he cannot, my friends?
And maybe with some color rise. For howsoever this is borne out, 'tis treason to be up against the king, therefore shall we have the people of our side.
And when the commons and the nobles join, 'tis not the king can buckler Galveston, will pull him from the strongest hold he hath. My lords, if to perform this I be slack, think me as low a man as Galveston.
On that condition, I'll grant. And so will I.
And I.
In this I count me highly gratified.
And when this favor Isabel forgets, let her live abandoned and forlorn. Let's see. In happy time, my lord the king, having new brought the Earl of Cornwall and his ways returned. This news will glad him, but none so much as me. I love him more than he can Galveston. Would he loved me but half so much, then were I most loyal.
Did never sorrow go so near my heart as doth the want of my sweet Galveston. And could my crown for then you bring it back, I would freely give it to his enemies, and think I gained, having bought so dear a friend.
My gracious lord, I come to bring you news
That we have parleyed with your lord.
that Galveston, my lord, shall be repealed.
Repealed.
survives poor Isabel.
Once more, receive my hand, and let this be a second marriage twixt thyself and me.
May it prove more happy than the first.
My gracious lord, I speak these nobles fair that await attendance with a gracious look, and on their knees salute your majesty.
Courageous Lancaster, embrace thy king. And as gross vapors perish by the sun, even so let hatred with thy sovereign smile. Live thou with me as my companion.
This salutation overjoys my heart.
Warwick shall be my chiefest counselor. These silver hairs will more adorn my court than gaudy silks or rich embroidery. Chide me, sweet Warwick, if I go astray.
Maybe my lord, when I can embrace.
In solemn triumphs and in public shows, Pembroke shall bear the sword before the king.
And with this sword, Pembroke will fight for you.
But wherefore walks young Mortimer aside? Be thou commander of our royal fleet, or if that lofty office likely knocks, I here create thee Lord Marshal of the realm.
My lord, all marshals so your enemies, as England shall be quiet and you safe.
Lord Mortimer, we leave you to your charge. Now, let us in and feast it royally. Our friend, the Earl of Cornwall, comes. We'll have a general tilted tournament, and then his titles shall be solemnized.
Such news we hear, my lord.
That day, not for him, yet for my sake, with the triumph will be challenger. Spare for no cost, we will requite your love.
In this or aught.
Your highness shall command us.
Thanks, gentle Warwick. Come, let's in and revel.
This king, his wanton humor grieves not me. But this I scorn, that one so basely born should, by his sovereign's favor, grow so hurt and riot with the treasure of the realm, while soldiers mutiny for want of pay. Wears the Lord's revenue on his back, and Midas-like jets it through the court with base, outlandish culling at his heels, whose proud, fantastic liveries make such show, as if that Proteus, god of shapes, had appeared. I have not seen a dapper jack so brisk. Wears short Italian hooded cloak, larded pearl, and in his Tuscan cap, jewel, more value than the crown, was other walk below the king, and he from out a window laughed at such as we, and flout our trade and jest at our attire. 'Tis this shame that makes me so impatient. And yet, I now must see the king is changed. And so am I, and live to do him service. But whiles I have a sword, a hand, a heart, I will not yield to any such upstart.
Spencer, seeing that our Lord the Earl of Gloucester said, which of these nobles thou'st lacking to serve?
Not Mortimer nor any of his side, because the king and he are enemies. But learn this of me. A factious lord shall hardly do himself good, much less us. But he that hath the favor of a king may with one word advance us while we live. The liberal Earl of Cornwall is the man on whose good fortune Spencer's hope depends.
You knew that he was small,
No, his companion, for he loves me well and would have once preferred me to the king.
But he's vanished. There's small hope of him.
I, for a while, but all of mark the end. A friend of mine told me in secrecy that he's repealed and sent for Latvia, and even now a post came from the court with letters to Our Lady from the king. And as she read, she wept, which makes me think it is about her dear friend, Galveston.
It's like enough, for since he was exiled, she neither comes abroad nor walks in sight. But I thought the match had been broke off, and his banishment had changed her mind.
'Tis so Our Lady's first love doth narrow. My life for thine shall nothing with him now.
Would lie by her means to be preferred, having read unto her since she was a child.
Paula, you must cast this collar off and learn to court it like a gentleman. 'Tis not a black coat and a little band, a velvet-caped cloak faced before with serge, and smelling to a nosegay all the day, or holding a napkin in your hand, or saying a long grace at a table's end, or making low legs to a nobleman, or looking down with your eyes closed and saying, truly, and it may please your honor, can get you any favor with great men. You must be proud, bold, pleasant, resolute, and now and then stab, as occasion serves.
Spencer, thou knowst I hate such formal toys, and use them but of mere hypocrisy. My old lord, whilst he still lived, was so precise that he would take exceptions at my buttons and things like his heads, blame me for the vagueness, which may be cured like in mind as fire, though inwardly licentious enough, and act for any kind of villainy. I am none of these common heathens. I that cannot speak without a peremptory of code.
But one of those that says, quanto quitem, and hath a special gift to form a murder.
Leave off this guessing. What hath she told to you then, knowing Galveston's return?
Her grief for his exile was not so much as is the joy of her forgetting him. Now, in a letter of our Lord the King, you will first repair unto the court, and in sign of respect to her uncle, she wills me to go, as proper friend should, and offer up my services to the king, so that he and Galveston both shall not be offended by lack of her presence. Well, stay here and bear me company. If all things sort out, as I hope they will, thy service shall be greatly thought upon.
I'll humbly thank you.
See that our coach be ready, we must dance.
should defray his money but the king, seeing he is taken prisoner in his wars?
Here he comes. My lord, you have matters of greater weight to think upon. The king of France sets foot in Normandy.
A trifle. We'll expel him when we please. My lord, how now? What news? Has Galveston arrived?
Nothing but Galveston. What means your grace? You have matters of more weight to think upon.
My dear Galveston, welcome home again. Thy absence made me droop and pine away, for as the lovers of great deny when she was locked up in a brazen tower, desired for more, and waxed outrageous, so did it fare with me. And now thy sight is sweeter far than was thy parting, bitter and irksome to my sobbing heart.
Sweet Lord and King, thy speech prevented mine. Yet have I words left to express my joy. The shepherd, knit by biting winter's rage, frolics not more to see the painted spring than I do to behold your majesty.
Will none of you salute my Galveston?
My lord, I cannot brook these injuries.
Return it to their throats, I'll be thy warrant.
Base, leaded earls that glory in your birth. Go sit at home and eat your tenant's beef, and come not here to scoff at Galveston, whose mounting thought did never stoop so low as to bestow a look on such as you.
Yet I say not to do this for you.
Treason! Where's the traitor?
Here, delightedly shall sound this foul disgrace.
I'll live thy life unless I lose my strength.
Furious warrior, what hast thou done?
No more than I would answer were he slain.
Yes, more than thou canst answer, though he live. Here shall you abide this riotous deed. Out of my presence! Come not near the court!
I'll not be barred in the court for Galveston.
Look to your own heads. His is sure enough.
Look to your own crown if you back him thus.
Warwick, these words do ill beseem thy ears. Nay, all of them conspire to cross me thus. But if I live, I'll tread upon their heads that think with high looks thus to tread me down. Come, Edmund, let's away and levy men. 'Tis war that must abate these barons' pride.
Nay, stay. My lord, I come to bring you news. Mine uncle's taken prisoner by the Scots.
Then ransom him.
It was in your wars. You should ransom him.
You shall ransom him, or else.
What? Mortimer, you'll not threaten him.
My lord, the family of the Mortimers are not so poor, but would they sell their land would anger men enough to levy against you. We never beg, but use such prayers as these.
Shall I still be haunted thus?
Nay, now you're here alone, and I'll speak my mind. These idle triumphs, masks, lascivious shows, the prodigal gifts bestowed on Galveston have drawn your treasure dry and made you weak. Murmuring commons, overstretched, break.
Look for rebellion. Look to be deposed. My garrisons are beaten out of France, and sick and poor lie groaning at the gates. The wild O'Neill with swarms of Irish current live unrestricted within the English pale. Unto the walls of York the Scots make room, and unrestricted draw away rich spoils.
The haughty Dane commands the narrow seas, while in the harbor ride thy ships unrigged.
What foreign prince sends the ambassadors?
Who loves thee, but a sort of flatterers?
Thy gentle queen, sole sister to the King of France, complains that thou hast left her all forlorn.
Thy court is naked, being bereft of those that make a king seem glorious to the world. I mean the peers, whom thou shouldst dearly love. Libels are cast against thee in the street, ballads and rhymes made of thy overthrow.
The northern borderers, seeing their houses burnt, their wives and children slain, run up and down, cursing the name of thee and Galveston.
When wert thou in the field with banners spread but once, and then thy soldiers marched like players in garish robes, not armor, and thyself, bedaubed with gold, rode laughing at the rest, nodding and shaking of thy stable crest. My people shall fly to set my uncle free.
When 'tis gone, our swords shall purchase more. Ye be moved, revenged as ye can, looks next to see us with our ensigns spread.
Barons, let's away, for the king is moved.
Moved may he be, perish in his wrath.
My swelling heart for very anger breaks. How oft have I been baited by these peers and dare not be revenged, for their power is great. But shall the crowing of these cockerels fright a lion? Edward, unfold thy paws, and let their lives' blood slake thy fury's hunger. If I be cruel and grow tyrannous, now let them pay themselves and rue too late. Brother, convey hence Galveston, no murder him. Edward, I see your love to Galveston will be the ruin of the realm and you. For now the wrath from nobles threaten wars, and therefore, brother, banish him forever. Art thou an enemy to my Galveston? Aye, and it grieves me that I favor him. Traitor! Why now with Mortimer? So will I, rather than Galveston, get thee gone from my sight! No marvel, though thou scorn my noble peers, when I, thy brother, am rejected thus. Away! Poor Galveston, that hath no friend but me. Do what they will, we'll live out our days here. And so I walk with him about the walls. What care I though the earls begirt us round?
Who's there?
My lady, the king's niece sent us in faith.
Very well. See where he comes here. My lord, 'tis thought the earls are up in arms.
Aye, and 'tis likewise thought you favor them.
Thus do you still suspect me? Without cause.
My lord, this is only your fair.
Pardon me, sweet. I had forgotten myself.
Your pardons quickly come as well.
The younger Mortimer is grown so brave that to my face he threatens civil wars.
Why do you not commit him to the tower?
I dare not, for the people love him well.
Why, they will have him privily made away.
I would he and Lancaster both carouse the bowl of poison to each other's health. Let them go, and tell me, what are these?
Two of Gloucester's servants whilst he lived. May it please your grace to entertain us now.
Very well. What is thine arms, and where wast thou born?
My name is Baldock, and I fetched my gentry from Oxford, not from heraldry.
The fitter art thou, all, but for my turn. Wait on me, I'll see thou shalt not want.
Humbly thank your honor.
Knowest thou him,
good, Lord. Many will stomach me, but I respect neither good love or order.
The headstrong baron shall not limit me. He that I list to favor shall be great. Come, friends, and when the dinner ends, have out the rebels and their accomplices.
Heaven, the abject villain shall not live.
I'll have his blood, or die in sea.
The leg of Emirates.
And so doth Lancaster. Now send our heralds to defy the king, and make the people swear to push it down.
About it then, and we will follow you.
Be resolute and full of secrecy.
I warrant you.
My lords, of love to this our native land, I come to join you and leave the king, and in your quarrel and the realm's behoof will be the first that shall adventure life.
I fear me you were sent of policy to undermine us with a show of love. He is your brother. Therefore we have cause to cast the worst down for your revolt.
Mine honor shall be hostage of my truth. If that will not suffice, farewell, my lords.
Nay, stay, Edmund. Never was a Plantagenet false of his word, and therefore trust me.
Now, my lords, know this, that Galveston is secretly stowed away and hiding in frolics with the king. Let us with these our followers scale the wall and suddenly surprise them unawares.
I'll give the onset.
And I'll follow thee.
This tattered ensign of my ancestors, whereof we got the name of Mortimer, that swept the desert shores of that dead sea, shall I bear upon these castle walls. Drums, strike alarm and raise them from their sport, and ring aloud the knell of Galveston.
None be so hardy as to touch the king, but spare neither Galveston nor his servants. majesty, Lancaster, march.
How comes it that the king and queen is parted?
This, your army going several ways, might be foresee intended presently to raise threats. Therefore, be gone.
Here in the river rides Flemish boy. Let's all aboard and follow him amain.
Relinquish it, close them heads, shall fill our sails. Come aboard, 'tis but an hour's sailing.
Madam, stay you within the castle here.
No, Mortimer, I'll to my lord.
Nay. Rather, come sail with us onward.
No, the king is so suspicious that if he but hear we have talked, he will call my honor into question. Therefore, Mortimer, go.
Madam, I cannot stay to answer you. Think of Mortimer as he deserves.
So well hast thou deserved, sweet Mortimer, as Isabel could live with thee forever. In vain I look for Logan Edward's hand, whose eyes are fixed on none but Galveston. Yet once more I'll importune to him with prayer. If he be strange and not regard my words, I'll to my brother, the king in France, convey how Galveston hath robbed me of my Edward. But yet I hope my sorrows will soon have end, and Galveston this blessed day be slain. Lusty Lawrence, I have escaped your hands, your threats, your alarms, and your hot pursuits. And though the forces from King Edward's eyes yet livid, pierced of Galveston, unsurprised, breathing, in hope despite all your hands that muster rebels thus against your king, to see your sovereign once again.
Thou proud disturber of thy country's peace, corrupter of thy king, cause of these broils, base flatterer, yield. Were it not for shame, shame and dishonor to a soldier's name, here upon my weapon's point shouldst thou fall, and welter in thy gore.
Monster of men, look for no other tortured wretch but death. Kind Edward is not here to buckler thee. Lancaster, why talk'st thou to the man? His head shall off. Galveston, sure warning shall serve thy turn. It is our country's cause that here severely we will execute upon thy person. Hang him thou.
My lord!
But for thou wert the favorite of a king, thou shalt have so much honor at our hands.
Thank you all for my words. That I perceive that heading into and death is wrong.
How now? Is this the man called up?
Hi, my lords. King Edward greets you all by name.
Hi, called up. Say a message.
His Majesty, hearing that you have taken Galveston, entreated you by me that we may seek him before he dies. For life, he says, and sends you word, he knows that die he shall. And if you gratify his grace so far, he will be mindful of the courtesy.
Well, he will gratify the king in other matters. He must pardon us and this.
Will not be delayed to forget my hopes. I know it, lords, it is this like you payback, grant treatment.
Shall thou appoint what we shall grant? Thus will gratify the king. Will send his head by thee. Let him bestow his tears on that, for that is all he gets of Galveston, or else his senseless trunk.
My lords, it is his Majesty's request, and in the honor of the king, he swears we will talk with him and send him back.
When?
For we know thou art a fine scholar, we will not wrong thee thus, to make away a true man for a thief.
My lord Mawr, and you, my lords, because his majesty so earnestly desires to see the man before his death, I will upon my honor, undertake to carry him, and bring him back again, provided that Galveston will join me.
What will one do? Cause yet more bloodshed. Is it not enough that we've taken him, but must we now leave him, untie my wrists, and let him go?
My lords, I will not overrule your honors, but if you dare trust Pembroke with the prisoner, I will bring him back.
My lord Mortimer, what say you in this?
Why, I say, let him go on Pembroke's word.
And you, Lord Lancaster,
What say you, my lord Lord? Nay, do your pleasures, and how 'twill prove, then give him me.
Oh, see, Edward, how I come to see thee ere I rise. Beloved Edward, how thy neighbor behind me swore Galveston.
Striving further, I will have that Galveston.
your lordship doth dishonor to yourself and wrong our king, your honorable friend.
No, my friends. It is my country's cause I follow. Will make quick work. Commend me to your king, my lords, and tell him that I watched it well. Come, let thy spirit hurl your echo.
Traitorous man! Shall I not see the king?
The king in heaven, perhaps. No other king.
Ah!
I long to hear an answer from the Baron touching my love. My dearest Galveston, I know the malice of the younger Mortimer. Warwick I know is rough, and Lancaster inexorable, and I shall never see my love be pierced, my Galveston again. The barons overbear me with their pride.
Were I King Edward, England's sovereign, these braves, this rage, and suffer uncontrolled these barons thus to beard me in my land, in mine own realm? My lord, pardon my speech. Did you retain your father's magnanimity? Did you regard the honor of your name? You would not suffer thus your majesty be counterbuffed of your nobility. Strike off their heads and let them preach on poles. No doubt such lessons they will teach the rest. By their preachments they will profit much, and learn obedience to their lawful king.
Yea, gentle Spencer, we have been too mild, too kind to them, but now have drawn our sword, and what? Dear Baldo, dost thou come alone?
Nay, my good lord, your Galveston is dead.
Have they put my love to death?
Bloody heart, flatly can fall arms.
Or shall I speak? Or shall I sigh and die?
My lord, refer Refer your vengeance to the sword upon these barons. Hearten up your men, let them not unrevenged murder your friends. Advance your standard, Edward, in the field, and march to fire them from their starting lines.
Thou comest from Mortimer and his accomplices. A ranker rout of rebels never was. Say thy message.
They bid me say that without effusion blood, you will this grief have ease and remedy. That from your princely person you remove this spencer, as a putrefying branch that deads the royal vine, whose golden leaves impale your princely head, your diadem, whose brightness such pernicious upstarts dim, say they, and lovingly advise your grace to cherish virtue and nobility, to have old servitors in high esteem, and shake off smooth dissembling flatterers. This granted they their honors and their lives, or to your highness vowed and consecrate.
Tarry no answer, but be gone. Rebels, will they appoint their sovereign his sports, his pleasures, and his company? If I be England's king, in lakes of gore, your headless trunks, your bodies will I trail, that you may drink your fill and quaff in blood, and stain my royal standard with the same, that so my bloody colors may suggest remembrance of revenge immortally on your accursed traitorous progeny. That have slain my gods. In this place of honor and trust, Spencer, sweet Spencer, I do adopt thee here, and merely of our love we do create thee, Earl of Gloucester, and Lord Chamberlain, despite of times, despite of enemies. This day I shall pour vengeance with my sword on those proud rebels that are up in arms and to confront
Thy flatterers faint and fly.
For which ere long your heads shall satisfy.
Then, Edward, thou wilt fight it to the last, and rather bathe thy sword in subjects' blood than banish that pernicious company.
Why? And make England civil towns your heaps of stone, rather than be brave by traitors all! Now, lusty lords, now not by chance of war, but justice, of the quarrel and the cause. Veiled is your pride. Methinks you hang the heads, but will advance them. Traitors, now 'tis time to be revenged on you for all your graves and for the murder of our dearest friend, to whom right well you knew my soul was knit.
Brother, it was in regard of thee and of thy land they removed that plaster from thy throne.
Brother, you have spoken. Away! Avoid our presence. Accursed wretches. Was it in regard of us when we had sent our messenger to request you might be spared to come to speak with us? That thou, proud warwick, watched the prisoner, or pierce and head him against law of arms, for which thy head shall overlook the rest, as much as thou in rage outweighs the rest. Tyrant!
Scorn thy threats, thy menaces, it is the temporal that commenced in fight. The worst is death, and better to die than to live in infamy under such a king.
England, unkind to thy nobility, groan for this grief, behold how thou art made!
Go. Take that haughty Mortimer to the tower. There see him safe bestowed. And for the rest, do speedy execution on them all!
What, Mortimer, can ragged stony walls immure thy virtue that aspires to heaven? No, Edward, England's scourge, it may not be. Mortimer's hope surmounts misfortune far.
March with me, friends. Edward this day hath crowned him king anew!
cause in this, a brother, no, a butcher of thy friends. Proud Edward, dost thou banish me thy presence, but all to France, and cheer the wronged queen, and certify that Edward's looseness is a natural king, to cherish flatterers and slaughter noblemen. Mortimer, I say this, we escape. Stand gracious, gloomy night to his device.
Who walks there? Is it you, my lord?
Mortimer's side, hath thy potion not so happily?
And happy, my lord. The warders all asleep. I thank them. Gave me leave to pass in peace. But hath your grace got shipping unto France?
Fear it not.
Friends, countrymen, welcome.
right. Here for our country's cause we swear to him all homage, fealty, and forwardness. For the open wrongs and injuries Edward hath done to us, his queen and land, we come in arms to wreak it with the sword, that England's queen, in peace, may repossess her dignities and honors, and, withal, that we may remove these flatterers from the king that havocs England's wealth and treasure.
Sound trumpets and forward let us march. The king will think we come to flatter him. I would he had never been flattered more.
Oh, villains! Hath that Mawr escaped with him his Edmund gone associate? Welcome, a God's name, madam, and your son. England shall welcome you and all your rout. Between you both, shorten the time, I pray, that I may see that most desirable day when we may meet these traitors in the field. Nothing grieves me but that my little boy is thus misled to countenance their ills. Come, friends, to gather strength and make our stand.
And yours do fail. Shape your course abroad, there to grieve.
What? Was I born to fly and run away and leave the conqueror wanderer behind? Give me my horse. We'll reinforce our troops, and in this bed of honor die with fame.
No, my lord, this princely resolution fits not the time. Away, we are pursued.
This way is me flattered, I am come too late. Edward, alas! My heart relents for thee. Proud traitor, murderer! Why dost thou chase thy lawful king, thy sovereign, with thy sword? Vile wretch! And why hast thou, of all unkind, more arms against thy brother and thy king? Bring showers of vengeance on my cursed head, thou God, to whom it justly belongs to punish this unnatural revolt. Edward, this murderer aims at thy life! Oh, fly him then! And calm this rage. Dissemble or thou diest. For more than were Isabel to kiss lovely fire. And yet she bears the face of love, forsooth. Fie on that low that hatches death and hate. Edmund, away. This blood of thine is false. Be not found single or suspect. Proud Mortimer cries near to thy wrongs.
Successful battles gives the God of kings to those that fight in right and fear thereof. Since then have we successfully prevailed, thanks be heaven's greatest architects, and you. And farther we proceed, my gracious lords, we here create our well-beloved son, who love and care unto his royal person, Lord Protector of the realm. And since the fates have made his father so infortunate, deal you, my lords, in this, my loving lords, as best befits thy wisdoms.
Madam, Without offense, if I may, how mean you to deal with Edward and Miss Paul?
Tell me, Uncle, whatever do you mean?
Nephew, your father. I dare not call him king.
My lord of Kent, what means these questions? 'Tis not in her controlment, nor in ours, but as the realm and parliament shall please, so shall your brother be disposed of. I like not this relenting mood in Edmund. 'Tis good to look to him betimes.
My lord, people know our minds.
Yea, they escaped not easily that fled the field.
Muller is with the king. A goodly chancellor is he not, my lord.
So too was that wanton son Spencer, that reveled in England's wealth and treasury.
This Edward is the ruin of the realm.
How so?
Pembroke, thy loving care in this revolt deserved princely favors and rewards. Where's the king and Spencer fled?
Spencer, the son, created Earl of Gloucester. That smooth-tongued scholar, Walden, gone. Ship away for Ireland with the king. Shall I not see the king? My father yet.
Unhappy Edward, Shakespeare England's bounds. Madam, what rested? Why stand ye and amuse?
Rue, my lord's ill fortune. Alas, care of country is what called me to this war.
Madam, have done with care and sad complaint. Your king hath wronged your country and himself, and we must seek to right it as we may. You, kind lord, shall do good service to her majesty, being a countenance of your country here. Come, friends, let's all away.
Have you no doubt, my lord? Have you no fear? Silence, as careful we will be to keep your royal person safe with us, free from suspect and elevation of such as have your royal majesty wishes. You yourself and your children company, as danger of the stormy time requires.
Father, thy face should harbor no deceit. Oh, hadst thou ever been a king, thy heart pierced deeply with the sense of my distress, could not but take compassion of my state. Stately and proud, in riches and in train, whilom I was powerful and full of pomp. But what is he, whom rule and empery have not in life or death made miserable? Come, Spencer, come, Walden. Come sit down by me. Make trial now of that philosophy that in our famous nurseries of arts thou suckest from Plato and from Aristotle. Father, this life contemplative is heaven. Oh, that I might this life in quiet lead. We, alas, are chaste. And you, my friends, your lives and my dishonor they pursue. Yet, gentle monk, for treasure, gold, nor fee do you betray us and our company. The grace is secure, and none but we belong.
Not one alive, but shrewdly I suspect a gloomy fellow in me below. He gave a long look after us, my lord, and all the land I know is up in arms, arms that pursue our lives with deadly hate.
We were marched for Ireland, wretched, with awkward winds and sore tempests driven to fall on shore, and here to pine in fear of Mortimer and his companions.
Mortimer, who talks of Mortimer, who wounds me with the name of Mortimer, that bloody man.
Here even we are betrayed.
Spencer and Baldock, by no other names, I do arrest thee of high treason here.
Stand not on titles, but obey the rest. 'Tis in the name of Isabel the Queen. My lord, my dream thus.
Oh, day the last of all my bliss on earth, center of all misfortune. Oh, my stars, why do you lour unkindly on a king? Comes Pembroke then, in Isabella's name, to take my life, my company from me? Here, man, rip up this panting breast of mine and take my heart in rescue of my friend.
Away with them. It may become thee yet to let us take our farewell to disgrace.
Spencer. Sweet Spencer, thus then must we part.
We must, my Lord. So will the angry heavens.
Nay, so will hell and the cruel Mortimer. The gentle heavens have not to do with this.
My lord, it is in vain to grieve or soar. Your company of your grace and give our leaves. Our lots are past, and fury so is thine.
In heaven we may, in earth there shall we be. And Pembroke say what will become of us.
Your Majesty must go to Killingworth.
Must. 'Tis somewhat hard when kings must go.
There lies a litter for your grace that waits your pleasure, and the day grows old.
A litter hast thou, lay me in a hearse, and the gates of hell convey me hence, for friends have Edward none but these. And these must die under a tyrant's sword.
My lord be going. Care not for these, for we shall see them shorter by the heads.
What shall we? Part we must. Sweet Spencer, gentle Walden, part we must. Hence, feigned weeds. Unfeigned are my woes. Pembroke, thou stayest for me, and go I must. Life, farewell. With my friends.
Oh, is he gone? Is noble Edward gone? Parted from hence, never to see us more? Rent, sphere of heaven and fire, forsake thy orb. Earth, melts to air. God is my sovereign.
Spencer, I see our souls fleeing hence. We are deprived of the sunshine of our lives. Make for a new life, man. Lift up thy eyes, and heart and hand to heaven's immortal throne. Pay nature's debt with cheerful countenance. Reduce thee all our blessings unto this. To thy sweet Spencer, therefore withdraw. Spencer, all live to die. And rise to fall.
patient, good my lord, cease to lament. Imagine that this castle were your court, and that you lay for pleasure here a space, not of compulsion and necessity.
Pembroke, if gentle words could comfort me, thy speeches long ago have eased my sorrows. The griefs of private men are soon allayed, but not of kings. The forest deer being struck runs to an herb that closeth up the wound. But when the imperial lion's flesh is gored, he rends and tears it with his wrathful paw. And highly scorning that the lowly earth should drink his blood, mounts up into the air. And so it fares with me, whose dauntless mind the ambitious Mortimer would seek to curb, and that unnatural queen, false Isabel, that thus hath pent and mewed me in a prison. For such outrageous passions cloy my soul, as with the wings of rancor and disdain, full often am I soaring up to heaven to plain me to the gods against them both. But when I call to mind, I am a king. Methinks I should revenge me of my wrongs that Mortimer and Isabel have done. But what are kings when regiment is gone, but perfect shadows in a sunshine day? My nobles rule. I bear the name of king. I wear the crown, but am controlled by them, by Mortimer, and my unconstant queen, who spots my nuptial bed with infamy, whilst I am lodged within this cave of care, where sorrow at my elbow still attends to accompany my heart with sad laments that bleeds within me for this strange exchange. But tell me, must I now resign my crown to make usurping Mortimer a king?
For graceless sakes, it is for England's good and Princely Edward's right, be bravely proud.
No. 'Tis for Mortimer, not my son's head. For he's a lamb, encompassed by wolves which in an instant will abridge his life.
My lord, why waste you thus the time away? They stay your answer. Will you yield your crown?
Pembroke, weigh how hardly I can work to lose my crown and kingdom without cause, to give ambitious Mortimer my right, that like a mountain overwhelms my bliss in rich extreme. My mind here murdered is. But what the heavens appoint, I must obey. Here, take my crown, the life of Edward too. Few kings in England cannot reign at once. Yet stay a while. Let me be king till night, that I may gaze upon this glittering crown, and so my eyes receive their last content, my head the latest honor due to it, and joining me both yield up their wished right. Continue ever, thou celestial sun. Let never silent night possess this clime. Stand still. You watches of the element, all times and seasons rest you at a stay, that Edward may be still our England's king. But day's bright beam doth vanish fast away, and needs I must resign my wishing crown. Inhuman creatures, nursed with tiger's milk, why gave you for your sovereign's overthrow
this eternal return, and so farewell.
Call them again, my lord. Speak them fair. For if they go, the prince shall lose his right.
Call thou them back, I have no power to speak.
My lord, the king is willing to resign.
If he be not, let him choose.
Oh, would I might, that heavens and earth conspire to make me miserable. Here, receive my crown. Receive it now. These innocent hands of mine shall not be guilty of so foul a crime. He of you all that most desireth my blood and will be called the murderer of the king, take it! What? Are you moved? Pity you me? Then send for unrelenting murder, and Isabel, whose eyes have been turned to steel, will sooner sparkle fire than shed a tear. Yet stay, for rather than I will look on them. Here. Here. Now, sweet God of heaven, make me despise this transitory pomp, and sit for I enthroned in heaven. Come, death, and with thy fingers close my eyes, or if I live, let me forget myself.
My lord,
Call me not, Lord. Away out of my sight! Pardon me. Grief makes me sick. Let not that Mortimer protect my son. More safety is there in a tiger's jaws than his embracements. Bear this to the queen, wet with my tears and dried again with sighs. If with the sight thereof she be not moved, return it back and dip it in my blood. Commend me to my son. Bid him rule better than I. Yet how have I transgressed unless it be with too much clemency?
Thus most humbly do I take my leave.
Farewell. I know the next news that he bring will be my death. And welcome shall it be to wretched men. Death is felicity. Such news as I expect, come, Emperor, come. Tell thy message to my naked breast.
my lord, think not thoughts so villainous can harbor in the land of the earth. To do your highness service and devour and save you from your foes, never would die. My lord, the council of the queen commands that I keep you in my charge.
Must you, my lady?
I, my most gracious lord, so to speak.
By Mortimer, whose name is written here, well may I rend his name that rends my heart. This poor revenge hath something eased my mind. Oh, well may his limbs be torn, as is this paper. Hear me, immortal Jove, and grant it too.
Your grace must handle me straight.
Whither you will. All places are alike, and every earth is fit for burial.
Thinks your grace that I will be cruel?
I don't know. But of this I am assured, that death ends all. And I can die of childish fear, for now we hold an old wolf by the ear, that if he slips, we'll seize upon us both and gripe the sore, being griped himself.
Now persuaded that I love thee well, and therefore so the prince, my son, be safe, whom I esteem as dear as these, mine eyes.
Think therefore, good sir, that it imports as much to erect him as Lord Protector, that you will be guardian over him. For our behoof will bear the greater sway, but as the king's name is underneath its print, conclude against his father what thou wilt. I myself will willingly subscribe.
Sweet Isabel, the life of Mortimer, I will. First, when I hear the news that you were deposed, then let me alone to handle it.
How fares my lord the king? In health, madam, but full of pensiveness. The king hath willingly resigned his crown.
Happy news! Send for the prince, my son. Thanks. Gentle captain.
Further ere this was commanded, Lord Pembroke came, so that she is now gone with Edmund. And we heard that Edmund laid a plot to set his brother free. No more so.
Then let some other be his guardian for Pembroke.
Let us alone, sir. Here is the privy seal. Who's there? Call hither Gurney and Matrevis to dash the heavy-headed Edmund's drift. Pembroke shall be removed, the king declined, and none but we shall know where he lies.
Mortimer, what safety lies for us when he lives?
Speak, shall he presently be dispatched and die?
I would he were, but it were not by violence.
Enough. Matrevis, write a letter presently unto the Lord of Pembroke from ourselves, that she rescind the queen, the king, to thee and Gurney. And when 'tis done, we will subscribe our name.
Shall we done?
Gurney,
My lord.
as thou attempts to rise in rank by Mortimer, who now makes fortune's wheel turn as he please, seek all the means thou canst to make him droop, and neither give him kind word nor good look.
I warned you, my lord.
And this above the rest, because we hear that Edmund has, to work his liberty, removed him still from place to place by night. And by the way, to make him fret the more, speak cursedly to him. And by any means, let no man comfort him if he chance to weep, but amplify his grief with bitter words.
Fear not, my lord. Do as you command.
So now away, post thither where the name.
Commend me, humble to my lord, and tell him that I work all in vain to ease his grief and secure his liberty. And give him this as a witness of thy love.
Finally assembled. Do so still, sweet queen. Here comes the young prince of the Earl of Kent.
Something he whispers in his childish ears. If he has such access of the prince, all our hopes and stratagems will be dashed. Deal Edmund friendly, as if all go well.
How fares my honorable Lord of Kent?
In good health, Mortimer. How fares your grace?
Better, Lord, my king were enlarged.
I hear of late he hath deposed himself.
The more my grief,
And mine.
To dissemble.
sweet son, come hither, I must talk with you.
You, being his uncle and the next of blood, do look to be protector o'er the prince.
Not I, my lord. But who should protect the son, the she that gave him life? I mean the queen.
Mother, persuade me not toward the crown. Let him be king. I am too young to
accosted Edmund, dost thou favor him that was the cause of his imprisonment?
The more cause have I now to make amends.
Come, son, go with this gentle lord and me. With you I will. Not with Mortimer.
Why, youngling, thinkest thou so, Mortimer?
Help. Quicken. Mortimer will wrong me. Brother, Kent, strive not. We are his friends. Isabel is closer than you.
Sister, Edward is my charge. Redeem him.
Edward is my son. I will keep him.
Marlowe will know he hath wronged me. Hence will I with great haste and rescue aged Edward from his foes. To be revenged on thee and Mortimer.
My lord, be not pensive. We are your friends. Men are ordained to live in misery. Therefore come, dalliance with danger of our lives.
Friends, where must unhappy Edward go? Will hateful Mortimer appoint no rest? Must I be vexed like the nightly bird whose sight is loathsome to all winged fowl? When will the fury of his mind assuage? When will his heart be satisfied with blood? If mine will serve a balustrade this breast and give my heart to Isabel and him, it is the chiefest mark they level at.
Not so, my liege. The queen hath given this charge to keep your grace in safety. Your passions make your dolours to increase.
This usage makes my misery increase. But can my air of life continue long when all my senses are annoyed with stench? Within a dungeon, England's king is kept and starved for want of sustenance. My daily diet is heartbreaking sobs that almost rends the closet of my heart. Thus lives old Edward, not believed by any and so must die, though pitied by many.
Here's channel water, as our charge is given. Sit down, for we'll be barbers to your grace.
Traitors, away, what will you murder me? Or choke your sovereign with filthy water?
No. Wash your face and shave away your beard, lest you be known and so be rescuing.
Why strive you thus? Your labor is in vain.
The wren may strive against the lion's strength, and all in vain. So vainly may I strive to seek for mercy at a tyrant's hand. Immortal powers that know the painful cares that weigh upon my poor distressed soul, level all your looks at these daring men that wrong their liege sovereign England's king. Oh,
avouch his staying by the sword, I am that will combat him. None comes, sound trumpets. As he live, all hail!
Now, Lord Mortimer, take him to your charge.
What traitor have we there with blades and bills?
What have you done?
Who would have taken the king away perforce, as men were bringing him upon instruction? Did you attempt this rescue, Edmund? Speak.
Mortimer, I did. He is our king, and thou compellest this prince to wear the crown.
Strike off his head. He shall have martial law.
Strike off my head, my lord! Restrain I defy thee! He is my uncle and shall live.
My lord, he is your enemy and shall die.
Speak, Willis.
Sweet mother, if I cannot pardon him, entreat my lord to capture for his life.
Son, be content. I dare not speak a word.
Nor do I, and yet methinks I should command. But seeing as I cannot, I will entreat for him. My lord, if you will let my uncle live, I will quiet my own age.
'Tis for your highness's good, and for the realms. How often must I bid you bear him hence?
Art thou king? Must I die at thy command?
At our command! Once more away with him.
Stay. Let me but say a word. I will not go. Either my brother or his son is king, and neither of them thirsts for enemy's blood. And therefore, Pembroke, whither will you hail me?
What feasting may I look for at his hands if my uncle shall be murdered thus? Son, be content. I will guard thee from thy foes. Had Edmund lived, he would have stopped thy death. Come. Son, we'll go hunting, riding in the park. Shall my uncle Edmund ride with us? He is a traitor. Think not on him, come.
The king must die, or Mortimer goes down. The commons now begin to pity him. Yet he that is the cause of Edward's death is sure to pay for it when his son is of age, and therefore will I do it cunningly. This letter, written by a friend of ours, contains his death, yet bids them save his life. Edwardum occidere nolite tumere bonum est. Fear not to kill the king. 'Tis good he die, but read it thus, and that's another sense. Edwardum occidere nolite tumere bonum est. Kill not the king. 'Tis good to fear the worst. Unpointed as it is, thus shall it go. That Edward, being dead, chance to be found, Betragus and the rest may bear the blame, and we be quit that caused it to be done. Locked lies the messenger that shall convey it, perform the rest. By this secret token that he bears, shall he be murdered when the deed is done. Lightborn, come forth. Art thou so resolute as thou wast?
What else, my lord? And far more resolute.
And hast thou cast how 'twill be done?
Aye. And none shall know which way to die.
But at his looks, Lightborn, thou wilt relent.
I use much to relent.
Do it bravely and be secret.
You shall not need to give instructions. It's not the first time I have killed him. I learned in Naples how to poise the cloud, to strangle the law and press down the throat, or open his mouth and pour quicksilver down. But yet I have a bravery that means.
What's that?
Nay, you shall pardon me, none shall know my betrayals.
Care not how to be done, so be not spied. Deliver this to Gurney and betray this. At every 10-mile end thou hast a horse. Take this. Away then, and never see me more, unless it be with news of Edward's death.
That will I quickly do. Farewell, my lord.
The prince I rule, the queen do I command, and with a lowly conge to the ground, the proudest lords salute me as I pass. I seal, I cancel, I do what I will. Feared am I more than loved. Let me be feared. And when I frown, make all the court look pale. But you, the prince, with air startless his eyes, whose looks were as if reaching to a boy. They thrust upon me the protectorship and sue to me for that I desire. First, at the council table, grave enough, and not unlike a bashful Puritan. First, I complain of imbecility, saying it is onus quam gravissimum, till, being interrupted by my friends, Giuseppe ad provincium, as they term it, and to conclude, I am protector now! Now is all sure. The Queen and Mortimer to rule the realm, the King, and none rule us. Mine enemies will I play, my friends advance, and what I list command, who dare control? And that this be the coronation day, it pleaseth me, and Isabel the Queen.
I wonder if the king dies not, being in a gall tucked to the knees in water to which the channels of the castle run, from whence a dam continually ariseth that were enough to poison any man, which more a king brought up so tenderly.
And so do I betray this. Yesternight I opened but the door to throw him some meat. It was almost stifled with the savor.
He had the body able to endure more than the king of Therefore now let us examine his mind another while.
Send out for him thence. I will anger him.
But say, who's this?
My lord protector.
What's this? I know not how to consider it.
Here is a place indeed, all my heart.
Who's there? What light is that? Wherefore comes thou?
Comfort you, and bring you joyful news.
Small comfort finds poor Edward in thy books. Villain, I know thou comest to murder me.
To murder you? My most gracious Lord, far be it from my heart to do you harm. The Queen sent me to see how you are used, for she relents at this your visit. What eyes can refrain from shedding tears? See it came in this most hideous state.
Weepest thou already? List a while to me, and then thy heart, were it as Bernese is, or as betrayed as is hewn from the mountains, yet will it melt ere I have told my tale. This dungeon where they keep me is the sink wherein the filth of all the castle falls.
Oh, Willingham.
And here, in mire and puddle, have I stood this 10 days' space. And lest that I should sleep, one plays continually upon a drum. They give me bread and water, being a king, so that for want of sleep and sustenance my mind's distempered, and my body's numbed, and whether I have limbs or no, I know not. Oh, would my blood dropped out at every vein as doth this water from my tattered robe. Tell Isabel the Queen I looked not thus.
Oh, speak no more, my lord. This breaks my heart. Ladies, rest yourself.
These looks of thine can harbor not but death. I see my tragedy written in thy brows. Yet stay a while. Forbear thy bloody hand, that I may see the stroke before it comes. That even when thou meanest to end my life, my mind may be more steadfast on my soul.
What means your highness to mistrust me thus?
What means thou to dissemble with me thus?
These hands were never stained with innocent blood, or shall they now be tainted with kings?
Oh, forgive myself for having such a thought. One jewel have I left. Receive thou this. Still fear I. And I know not what's the cause, but every joint shakes as I give it thee. Oh, thou harborest murder in thy heart. Let this gift change thy mind and save thy soul. Know that I am a king. Oh, at that name I feel a hell of grief. Where is my crown? Gone, gone, and do I still remain alive?
You're overwatched, my lord. Lie down and rest.
But that grief keeps me waking. I should sleep. For not these 10 days have my eyelids closed. Now as I speak, they fall. And yet with fear open again, oh, tell me wherefore sittest thou here?
If you mistrust, I'll be gone, my lord.
No, no, for if thou intendest to murder me, thou wilt return, and therefore stay.
He sleeps.
Oh, let me not die of stay and stay alive!
And now, my lord,
Something that still buzzes in my ears that tells me if I sleep, I never wake. It is this fear
Done betray this and the murderer dead.
Aye, my good lord, I would it were undone.
Travis, if thou now growest penitent, I'll be thy ghostly father, and therefore choose whether thou wilt be secret in this or else die by the hand of murderer.
Germany, my lord, is dead. Will I fear betray us both? Therefore let me fly.
Fly to the winds.
Humbly thank you.
Here now I stand as Jove's huge tree. All others are but shrubs compared to me. All tremble at my name, and I fear none.
Mortimer, my son has news. His father's dead, and we have killed him.
What if we have? The king is yet a child.
And yet he tears his hair and wrings his hands and vows to be revenged upon us both. Into the council chamber is he gone, to crave the aid and succor of his peers. Here he comes, and they with him. Now, Mortimer, it is our tragedy. You're not my lord, know that you are a king. Murderers both!
How now, my lord?
Think not that I am frightened with thy words. thou shalt die. And on his mournful curse lie hateful, and a cursed head shall lie to witness to the world that by thy means his kingly body was too soon interred. Weep not, sweet son, for me do not weep. He was my father, and had you loved him half so well as I, you could not bear his death as patiently. But you, I fear, conspire before her.
Why speak you not unto my lord the king?
Because I think it scorn to be accused. Who is the man dare say I murdered him?
Traitor. In me my loving father speaks, and plainly saith, 'twas thou that murderest him.
But hath your grace no other proof than this?
Yes. If this be the hand of Mortimer,
False hath betrayed me and himself.
I feared as much. Your deeds cannot be hid.
It is my hand. What makest thou of this?
That thither thou didst send a murderer.
A murderer! Bring forth the man I sent.
Mortimer, you knowest that he is slain, and so shalt thou be too. Why stayest here? Bring him unto her. Drag him forth. Hang him, I said. Set his horse up and bring his head back presently to me, for my sake, sweet son. Pity, Mortimer.
Madam, entreat not. I will rather die than sue for life unto a paltry boy!
And to the traitor, with the murderer.
Base fortune, now I see that in thy wheel there is a point to which, when men aspire, they tumble headlong down. That point I touched, seeing no place to mount up higher. Why should I grieve at my declining fall? Sweet queen, weep not for Mortimer, who scorns the world, and now, as a traveler, goes to discover places yet unknown.
What? Suffer you prayer to delay. As thou received thy life from me, spill not the blood of gentle Mortimer. And this argues that you spilled my father's blood, else you were not a treat for Mortimer. I spilled his blood, no, not Adam. You, for so the rumor runs. That rumor is untrue. For loving thee is this rumor raised on his mouth. I do not find it so unnatural. My lord, I fear me it will prove too true. Mother, you are suspected for his death, and therefore we commit you to the tower till further trial may be made thereof. If you be guilty, though I be your son, think not to find me slack or pitiful, nay, to my death. Too long have I lived, but as my son thinks to abridge my days. Away with her words and force these tears, and I shall pity her. If she speak again, shall I not mourn for my beloved lord? sweet father, unto thy will.